Thank you, Maria. All right. I guess I got to read all that again. Mm-hmm. How about now? Can you hear me? Yeah, no. Thank you, Maria. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. My wife just verified she can hear me. Okay. All right. Okay. All righty. Yeah, I had it mute on the Facebook. Oh man, now I gotta find my stuff again because I fat fingered it. All right. Let me scroll down here. All right. All right. Yes, I will. Here we go. The information discussed in this live stream is based on personal experience, publicly available facts, and protected whistleblower disclosures. Nothing stated here is legal advice. All opinions expressed are my own and are protected under the First Amendment, the Whistleblower Protection Act, the Whistleblower Protection Enhancement Act, and all applicable federal laws. Names, events, and facts mentioned relate to matters already documented through proper federal channels. Retaliation against whistleblowers is a violation of federal law. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so in short, I speak for myself. I don't speak for any federal agency, any government agency, any state agency, or any city or local agency. This is just me telling the truth, things I've seen, things I know, things that happened, that's happening now in the federal government, more in particular the U.S. Postal Service, as I am currently an employee, and that's kind of what we're going to do. Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Angel, and I am a manager of customer service for the Miami West Carrier Annex in Miami, Florida. Okay. I am currently on leave, medical leave, due to, as we would call in the OWCP, CaO2 issues. Psychological issues induced by the organization in question, retaliation, systemic abuse, abuse of authority, abuse of power, violation of federal laws and regulations of the U.S. Postal Service, as well as a bunch of other issues that the organization has violated, including the employee handbook and the our famous thing, the Okay, so I originally had a clear-cut presentation for you guys today, but I was going through the the YouTube channel comments, and there was a viewer who wanted to know where the information was for this information that I was talking about on Thursday. So when I spoke about it on Thursday, I kind of gave you like a brief overview, and I didn't really dive into it because, I assumed that, everyone kind of knew where to go. So to help the listener out and the viewer out, I kind of figured I'd go over some of this stuff. It's very lengthy. I put it on my Facebook page about 20 hours ago. So if you want to see the full list of violations that the Postal Service has broken, especially in regards to the passing of our two brothers in the plant scheme of things, you go on my Facebook page and all the violations are right there. I got it organized for you so that you can read through them. And if you see something in there that concerns you, you know what your rights are, more or less what you need to do. Okay. But yeah, so with that, good evening once again. And I hope everybody's okay on this Sunday. And brief announcement. I'm going to say it right now before I even begin. Next Thursday, we will not have a live stream. It's Thanksgiving. I know everybody's going to be with their family and their friends celebrating, the blessings that they have. So we won't have a live stream next Thursday. So the next live stream will be on Sunday. All right, guys. So we're not meeting Thursday, but we're meeting Sunday. All right, just so you guys are aware. Okay, so the first thing the viewer asked about was the National Labor Relations Act. These are policies not really talked about. And again, like when stuff happens to me, my job is to bring it out and show you what the organization is violating, show you what they're doing wrong. so that you can take this information and use it. Again, every agency is different, so you want to check your organization's HR policies in regards to this. The Postal Service is a very unique organization. They, unfortunately, they reside outside, the federal government, but yet not really. So, they're in there like, oh yeah, protect me, daddy. And then when daddy comes to get at them, then they turn around and say, oh no, that doesn't concern us. We're sovereign. That's kind of the game they play. So these laws are basically what they did violate and what does apply to them, as well as things that do not apply to them. Okay. The issues we're having is transparency. If you guys saw the live video on YouTube that Lino put up earlier, that's a clear example of transparency and why it's important for us to communicate, for management to communicate with craft and craft to communicate with management, instead of this whole weird divide and conquer thing that they got going on. I'm not even going to go into that. So the first topic of discussion was the National Labor Relations Act. Again, this is a gray area. It says it doesn't cover federal employees. 29 USC subsection 152-2 USPS explicitly excluded from the National Labor Relations Act, but yet that's not entirely true, because it depends on if you're a whistleblower or you have other systemic abuses that relate to them, then they have to take care of it. You understand? It's just one of those gray areas. Okay. Very important, and I learned this the hard way. Federal supervisors, managers are excluded from the NLRA protections. So basically, we're not protected. Managers like myself are not protected under that law. I think that's kind of messed up. We're still federal employees. I think it should be a clean slate across the board. Doesn't matter what level of the organization you're in. If you're a whistleblower, they should be helping you. This is just my opinion. I don't know if that's the case or not, but this is what I researched on my own. If I'm wrong, then I'll admit I'm wrong and I'll stand corrected. But right now, it doesn't look that way because of my own personal experience. Yeah. So basically, here are some of their limitations. They handle unfair labor practices under the 29 UFC subsection 157 through 160. Union interference. I mean, some of you guys are going through that right now. You're going through unions that are not doing their jobs, or they're sugarcoating stuff, or they're word playing situations. A clear example is the video I saw today on Lino's channel, Miami-Dade Transparency, where I won't mention the individual's name because it doesn't apply to me, but I will say that the individual was publicly stating, well, you got paid, so, the Postal Service did right. We got to follow regulations. But none of that has to do with what the postal managers are doing now. Now, I'm not talking about the good managers that go to work every day and follow the policy. I'm talking about the individuals that I unfortunately had the issue of dealing with, and they were manipulating clock ring errors, manipulating tax time, manipulating paychecks, manipulating payroll deductions, manipulating parcel scans, manipulating scanning, okay, and a bunch of other illegal stuff that they're doing. And nobody's talking about it. Hey, Lino, what's up? So right there, tells you there's something a little funny there going on. Go watch it. I highly recommend it. It's not that long, but it was a good recap. Yeah, Scipio, I agree. It's mind blowing. Like when I sat there and I heard, I was just like in the comment section, like, what you mean this got nothing to do with that? Stop lying. They're lying to you. Like I was just shouting out stuff because like I was just tight. Yeah, none of that stuff had nothing to do with none of they doing now. And our brothers and sisters, because again, it don't matter what level of the organization you are, we're still connected. We're all federal workers. And this is the problem. We forgot how to be human. But I digress. That's something that probably will never change, and it is what it is. Employer retaliation for concerted activity. Concerted activity not applicable to USPS managers or federal employees. Again, gray area, because I know carriers that have taken these same issues and brought it up to the National Labor Relations Board. I also know clerks that did it back home that did it, as well as other people. Okay, we talked about the EEOC. Now we're going to move into the EEOC. They enforce Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. This is 42 USC subsection 2000E. That particular act, the Civil Rights Act, Title VII, most of us are going through that right now. So you know if you're being discriminated against by race, color, sex, national origin, or religion. That falls under Title VII of the EEOC, 42 USC subsection 2000E. You want to go in there, file your EEOC petition, and you know what? They're going to tell you, oh, go through the EEO and do this. And listen, man, that's all voluntary. You don't need to go to your organization and file EEO. You can go straight to EEOC and file your petition. You don't need that. That right there is dead. They just tell you to do that stuff so they can hold you down. And then everything you guys say in that redress forum with those people, you can't use it in a court of law. So why would anyone want to go and do redress for? Because all you're doing is protecting the organization. You're not protecting yourself. You know these dirtbags are going to side with them because even though they're impartial, who signs their check? There you go. Who signs their check? So if they say they're from the Postal Service or any agency, oh, I represent the agency, but I'm an impartial party. That's a fucking lie. They're paid by the organization. They work for the organization. They will side with the organization. And it doesn't matter what you say. They're going to write what they want anyway. They did it to me. They did it to Lino. They do it to everybody. They don't care. And then it's, oh, no, you can't put my name in that because I'm a neutral party. I'm a neutral party. Wordplay. I love the wordplay. But that's not true. You can still be exposed and testify in a court of law. You think you can't get hauled in front of a court of law because you're a specialist for EEO? Listen, you work for the company just like all of us. You're nothing special. So keep that in mind, guys. Age discrimination. Now, when they're talking about age discrimination, they're talking about people over 40 years old. So some of us 40-year-olds, they discriminate against us because we're a little bit slower than we used to be, or we're not as cooperative as we used to be, or you know what, we're not going to kiss your ass like everyone else does. So basically they target you. Okay. That's also under 29 USC subsection 621 ET sequence. So you guys can look that up. Again, all this is on my Facebook page. I'm kind of just going through it real quick for the viewer on the YouTube channel that needed a little assistance. Section 501 and Section 504 for federal employees. Covers disability discrimination and RA violations. Okay, you guys know who you are. Look into it. Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act. 42 USC subsection 2000 double FF. So it's 2000 FF. Okay. Now, why are we talking about genetic information non-discrimination? Because some weirdo thought it was okay to just throw that in there and say, well, I'm genetically different from you and me, so you can't discriminate against me. You look into that one. Yeah, I read it and I was just like, whatever. EEOC does not cover. Very important. Hostile workplace not tied tied to protective classes. We went over those classes on Thursday. Whistleblowers, systemic abuses. You filed charges with the Office of Special Counsel. That counts as a protective status. You got a contact with your senator. Got contacts with the White House, for example, and contacts with a couple other people that are protecting you because you're exposing this stuff. Okay, you notice it's all over Facebook and on the news now. Senators are stepping up, representatives are stepping up, and they're investigating the Postal Service. Why? Because they keep breaking the law. It's just clean cut. Now they're innocent until proven guilty. What I'm saying is just hearsay. But that's for now. Because, I mean, if you got 100,000 people saying you guys are dirtbags, then chances are you're dirtbags. I'm going to leave that one alone. Okay? Case in point, Miami managers. Oh, sorry. Moving on. Whistleblower retaliations. We were just talking about that. EEOC, Merit Systems Protections Board, jurisdiction. 5 USC subsection 2302. Yes, we got training today. So this is going to go up on the YouTube page also. So don't worry about writing none of this stuff down. I apologize if it's a lot of information and I'm going fast. I don't want to keep y'all here all day on a Sunday. You know, I feel bad. So I want to give you the information, give as much as I can, and that way y'all can just go about and enjoy your families. Okay? Yeah. So again, OSC, Merit Systems Protection Board, jurisdiction, 5 USC subsection 2302. Okay, you want to remember that. Okay, again, it'll be up on YouTube so you can watch it over, whatever, and take your notes. Okay, the Postal Service or USPS responsibilities. So this is the full ELM and policy codes. Now, I did say I was going to go into some more heavy stuff now. So when I do a podcast, and if I give policy, I'm going to talk about it, and it's going to be extensive. Okay. Reasonable accommodation violations. This is very important. Now, the reason why I dove into this like hardcore, these violations individually, is because number one, not only did it happen to me, but it's happening to a lot of people I know that I've been talking to on social, on YouTube, here on Facebook. People have been messaging me and stuff like that, and emails and stuff that I'm getting from people coming forward. People that wanna interview with me now. If you guys want to interview with me, I'm still learning the whole social thing. I'm not, I was never into that growing up. I was more outdoorsy, 80s kid. I was always outside, so this stuff is still new to me. I can work on computers though, but this, for some reason, it eludes me. Send me an email. thepostaltruth1@gmail.com. thepostaltruth1@gmail.com. Now, I got some more good stuff coming down the pipe, at the end of this tunnel, because it's not a rabbit hole anymore, it's a tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, I got some huge stuff that's going to be coming to the channel for you guys and gals that are gathering here to watch and learn stuff. Oh, thank you, Jessica. I appreciate that. Yeah, so the email's there. Jessica wrote it in. My lovely wife wrote it in for you. Just write it down. And again, if you miss it, this will be on YouTube. So you'll get it. Okay, thepostaltruth1@gmail.com. Okay, now we're going to talk policy. Something management hates. Ask me if I care. All right. ELM 546, reasonable accommodation. That applies to anything reasonable accommodation. Your rights as an individual. Your rights. Hi, Dan. I hope you're feeling better. Your rights as an individual. Your rights as an employee of the Postal Service. And again, if you work for another acronym agency, like there's some of you in here that I know, check your HR policies. They're almost the same, just a little bit different. So for example, the Postal Service would use, for example, a PS Form 50. Well, that's basically your job your job description in a nutshell and how much you make and all that stuff. The federal government agencies, all federal only, aside from the post office, calls it an SF50. So you know it's the same number, right? But it's a different letters, acronyms. PS for Postal Service. Okay, guys. So check into your HR policies. Look it up. It's almost the same, not too much different, and then go from there. And if I can find something out for you, I'll do my best. Again, the best way to get me is by email. There's a viewer on TikTok that tried to message me and my phone just glitched out and I can't get the message back. So if you're watching this, go on my email and send me an email. All right. And we can talk about your situation. All right. I believe you were a carrier. That's all I saw before the phone just went weirdo on me. Don't ask me what happened. Anyway, ELM 546, reasonable accommodation. So the first one you want to look at is ELM 546.11. Okay. USPS must provide reasonable accommodation to qualified individuals. So who is a qualified individual? You, me, the milkman. Anyone that has medical documentation is qualified from a certified medical doctor. Not a nurse, a medical doctor. MD. Okay? So keep that in mind. ELM 546.142, R-rated requests must be processed promptly. That means when they get it, they're supposed to do it right away. I mean, it's not tomorrow, but don't sit on it 78 days and then act like, oh yeah, we were on time. You delayed an RA for 78 days and you say that's on time? You call that timely? You must have failed math in school. Or your mother dropped you on your head when you was little. Either way, it's not reasonable and it's not timely. So it's wrong. Okay? Keep that in mind, guys. All right. ELM 546.143 requires medical documentation review. Your MD missing equals a violation. So what that means is if you give your doctor this paperwork and your doctor says you could do X amount of stuff, the agency is supposed to go off of that paperwork and say, okay, could you do this? And they offer you jobs that coincide with what your doctor said you can do. The agency is not supposed to get you to go back to your doctor to change anything. The agency is not supposed to get you to return to the doctor and lie, because the first thing they're going to do is turn around and say, well, you lied on your RA. All because you were trying to do the right thing. So when your doctor says you work 4 hours, you stand 4 hours, you sit 4 hours, that's what the fuck you do. Don't do nothing else. Don't do anything. Don't listen to these people. Because the first thing they're going to do is delay your RA for 78 days and say it was timely. And then deny it anyway. That's what they do. You understand what I'm saying? It's not about doing the right thing. If the job really wants to accommodate you, they'll work with you. Listen, if you request an RA and corporate worked with you and local management, labor relations, there you go. Local labor relations worked with you. That's what's up. Then y'all good. Just do your job. Don't worry about nothing. If you're supposed to work 20 hours, you work your 20 hours and you go home. No, you don't stay overtime. No, you don't do anything extra. You go home. Because the moment you do that, they turn around and say you lied on your RA. Because you stood overtime this day. But I was helping. No, you lied. You did this. And then they want to fire you for embezzlement. See where they get you? The first thing you do when you piss them off, they come at you. So remember, guys, don't do none of that stuff. They know what you can do. They were given the paperwork. They don't like it. Eat a crotch. And I'm going to leave it there. That's the postal truth right there. Okay? ELM 546.141, interactive process required. Okay. Required. What does that word mean? It means you have to. You need to. Now. Not 78 days from now. Not 48 days from now. Not next year. Not whenever labor management feels like it, or whenever they can get someone alive. Now. You're required. It's the law. And it's policy. But the first thing management does when they get angry and they know they can't screw you, they screw you. You see what I'm saying? It's like a double-edged sword. You know you're not supposed to do it, but you did it anyway. Okay. Required. They are to meet with you to discuss some terms. Not fill this out. Oh, but it's not indefinite, and tell your doctor what to say. That's coaching. That's a form of coaching. If they're telling you and telling your doctor cannot say it's indefinite, that's coaching. You're telling the doctor what to say. Who are you to tell the doctor it's not something is indefinite? How do you know? But they're sitting here lying on these forms and hiding behind bureaucracy. And again, the postal truth. I'm not going to lie about this stuff. I'm going to just put it out there. Because all this stuff is well documented everywhere, including with my case. Good luck trying to put me in jail. Anyway. M546.3, improper delays violate federal law. Improper delay. So, what is an improper delay? I'm glad you asked. Improper delay is when you mail your first documentation to HRSSC, HRSSC sits on it for 2 days when they received an express mail overnight in 1 day, and they sit on it for 2 days, and then they turn around, download all the paperwork, including medical notes, doctor recommendations, medications, and all this stuff from your doctor already filled out. They delay it for 44 days and then turn around and mail you the same packet you mailed them. That's a delay. And it's interference. They're interfering with your pay. They're interfering with your benefits. They're interfering with your livelihood and your family. Those are systemic delays. Improper delays violate federal law. And yet they're doing it. Guys, watch your numbers. Document, 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 document. That's all I got for that one. Now, here's another one that they love to violate. EL 307, Reasonable Accommodation Handbook. They have an accommodation handbook that they're supposed to follow. Now we're talking about the Postal Service. They have an accommodation handbook. So when they don't follow reasonable accommodation policy and they delay your RA for 78 days, and then you mail your first document to HR, SSC, who's supposed to process it timely, we just read it, and they delay it for 44 days and then mail you the same application you already gave them, filled out in full by your doctors with all medical notes and all medical information, that is a delay and it's a violation of federal law. An ace is an ace and a spade is a spade. It is what it is. You can lie, you can sugarcoat it. Oh, but the sun turned green and I thought I was gonna die because I got sick from drinking this orange juice this morning. Your fucking problem. It's a delay. Oh, but no, we were on time because, no, we had the RA and it was on time. And then you fell on your head. That's when your mother dropped you on your head, right? And you called it timely. Interesting. Don't argue with them. Just stay quiet. Let them fall on their face. Listen, the more they lie, the more shit they have to cover. That's postal truth right there. Let them bury themselves. Keep lying. Seriously. So, EL 307, Reasonable Accommodation Handbook, Section 232. The meeting must include a medical authority, MD or equivalent. So who is equivalent to an MD? You can't really say that a nurse practitioner is equivalent because it's not. They're allowed to give you medicine. They're allowed to treat certain things. They're even allowed to diagnose you, but they still need the MD's approval. So you can't really say that that's equivalent. But yet the Postal Service uses nurses to justify reasonable accommodation delays and issues like that. Like here in Miami, where you have 2 nurses running around denying RAs everywhere. 2 nurses, not doctors, nurses denying RAs everywhere. God. Unreal. That's, yeah. Specific field. Meaning if they ain't a psychiatrist in that fucking room, kiss ass. It doesn't count. It's a delay. So yeah, guys, if you have nurses, lawyers, labor management, safety, district manager, district relations, the fucking manager of your unit, and people that have no real authority to make a medical determination, it's a violation of federal law. Not to mention, if you weren't informed of your rights that a lawyer was coming, that was going to be present at that meeting, that's a violation of your civil rights as an American citizen. I think that's a violation of any well-governed and recognized country where everyone is entitled to legal representation. But yet, if you're not informed in writing, not verbatim, not by my word of mouth, but in writing, that legal was going to be there, they violated your rights as an American, which means they violated federal law. They violated civil law. They can sugarcoat it. They can call it whatever they want. They can say, oh, we always come to these meetings. Really? Well, I wasn't informed in writing that you'd be there. Interesting. At that point, be smart. Don't say much. Just answer whatever questions. Less is more. Because the more you volunteer information, that lawyer's doing this. He's writing shit down. He or she is writing shit down, and they're going to use it on you in the court. So less is more. Yes or no? Yes. No. Maybe so. And this is how this is how the companies manipulate the situation, especially the Postal Service, because they stay breaking the law. I've seen it firsthand. You can't change my mind with that shit. I was there. I saw it. Fucking dumping mail and everything. I saw it. You can lie and sugarcoat it all you want. Dumping political mail too, not processed properly. Yeah, political mail. For all the politicians listening to this, they're dumping your political mail and they're not processing it the right way. They're not red tagging it. Oops. And I'm willing to testify in front of Congress if you need me to. Yeah, I'll bring my stack of 800 pages now. Guys, remember that. We're going to move into family medical leave, okay? So some of the violations for this, the subcategory in the employee ELM for the Postal Service workers. And again, if you're a different acronym agency, look at your HR policies. They're almost the same. They may not call it ELM. They may call it something else, but it's basically the same thing. You just look it up and yeah, you'll find it. They have to publish these policies online as public information. The Postal Regulatory Commission makes the Postal Service do it. They hate talking to them. They hate it. Okay. ELM 515, Family and Medical Leave Act. ELM 515. Okay. 5.11 is FMLA cannot be used to punish employees. So what does that mean? You can't fucking mark people LWOP and they have FMLA. That's a punishment and it's a violation of federal law. But the Postal Service does it all the time. How many of you guys have went on these forums and vented that management is marking you LWOP? That's leave without pay. So there are circumstances to this, and I will call out the fact here. You can mark someone that's FMLA LWOP only if, number one, they have no time in the bank left, or two, it doesn't apply to their particular case. I'll give you an example. Your doctor approves 20 hours of work, right? Of FMLA, right? So you get 20 hours a week off with pay if you have time in your bank, right? And this goes for any organization. You get 20 hours off if you have leave in your bank, right? Now, that other 20 hours, you're supposed to work. Well, if you're sick and you don't go and you call out FMLA, they have to mark you as FMLA LWOP though. It just means you don't get paid for it. You don't qualify. But if you call in FMLA LWOP, or you call in FMLA and you don't qualify for it, they're supposed to categorize you as FMLA LWOP, which covers you from losing your medical benefits, your pension, and your pay status, as well as the organization, because it protects them. It protects them as well. But unfortunately, organizations like the U.S. Postal Service thinks it's okay to punish people with FMLA by marking them LWOP. It's a violation of federal law. But since there's no accountability, they're getting away with it. Many of you guys that I've spoken to are going through this right now. I want you to know that's wrong. They're doing it wrong. Okay? So keep that in mind. ELM 515.46 prohibits interference or retaliation. So what does that mean? They're not supposed to block you or retaliate against you. I'm going to charge you with willful delay of mail. That's retaliation. Give me your badge. Get out my building. Abuse of power, another violation. That's retaliation. Or how about this? Standing there and not doing nothing, knowing that the senior executive is wrong. And you stand there and say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then they walk you out the building, take your badge and your computer, and throw you out the building. It's a violation of federal law and the Postal Service policy. So it doesn't matter where you're working, what acronym agency, or even in the private sector, the law is the law. FMLA is universal. It's a federal law. It's not an agency law. But you have senior executives and senior administration thinking it's okay to punish employees because they're sick, or punishing employees because they made them this way. Something to think about. And if your direct supervisor stands there and does nothing, he or she then becomes an accomplice to the illegal and unlawful activity, making them violators of federal law as well. The excuse of, oh, I was following orders and the manager said, hit my head on the sink, so I said, okay. Or let me go out there and slap my partner because the manager said to. That doesn't count. That doesn't abstain you from the law. You understand what I'm saying, guys? So remember that. And they'll try to twist that shit all the time. Don't let them. Okay? 515.7, improper leaf coding is illegal. LWOP instead of FMLA. We just talked about that a few seconds ago. So I'm not going to go into that again. But again, as I said, it's illegal. And it's in the policy. They have explicit instructions to follow. They cannot divert. They cannot digress this decision for another decision. They cannot make up shit in their mind that policy. This is another thing that management has been doing. Making up fucking policies as they go along. They call them household rules. Household rules. Your manager hits you with a household rule, just laugh at them because they can't do nothing to you. They will now, but it's gonna bite them in the ass later. And that's again the postal truth. Now we're gonna move on to leave and pay violations. So here's where they love fucking with people. And I've seen it myself. It's also happened to me and a couple other people I know. But I'm gonna tell you what it is so you guys know and you can protect yourselves, okay? So, M513 is sick leave. Well, who doesn't know what the fuck sick leave is? We all do, right? You use it when you're sick, right? Okay, so that's that. That's what it's for, okay? M513.12, sick leave must be approved if medically supported. There's that key word there, must. It's no choice. They got to do it. But again, we go right back to the FMLA violations. And they violate federal law by marking people LWAP. Because they think it's cute. Or they got this little hard on for you. Oh, fuck that motherfucker. I'm going to mark him LWAP anyway. Fuck him. Okay. It's going to cost you more later. Yeah. And they use bureaucracy to hide behind all the systemic abuses. And this is across the nation. This isn't something that's just happening here in Florida. This is happening in Texas. This is happening in Georgia. This is happening in Illinois. I've spoken to carriers, believe it or not, all around the country already. Even as far as California. I've spoken to people. And it's the same shit over and over and over. And people are just tired of it already. At what point does it stop? Guys, grow the fuck up, man. It's a job, man. You're not a general in the army anymore. If that was your career before you joined the post office, stop trying to relive past glory. Because you ain't, brother. If you was in the military trying to relive past glory, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Because that shit, you can't do that out here, man. There's that. So, medically supported. Now, M519. This is my favorite one. Administrative leave. So, postal managers, not all of you, many of you. Because the person that taught me never does that shit. I won't mention her name because I respect her that much. But she ain't never did that shit. She followed the policy, even though she got pissed at her workers sometimes. So I've seen it. We've had our conversations. She even got pissed off at me. Because we different opinions sometimes. Doesn't mean I don't love the lady. She taught me everything I know. We're not gonna always agree. But like, she never violated the policy, and that's the way I was taught, and I didn't do it either. So when you got people violating simple postal policy, very simple, basic. Either A, you're just a dirtbag. B, you don't care about nobody but yourself. C, you're only worried about saving your own ass. And then we can go all the way up the alphabet, because the other way you look at it, that circle's coming around and you'd suck. What do I know? Okay. M519.11, USPS must place an employee on administrative leave when the agency causes the absence. They must. I'll give you an example. When the agency causes the absence. So what does that mean? I'm going to charge you a willful delay of mail. Take his badge. Put him off the clock. And you answer to me when I talk to you. When they walk your ass out that building, that's administrative leave with pay. Pending an investigation. But managers, many of them, think it's okay to manipulate clock rings and give people constructive suspension for 35 days. And then when you get mad, when the employees get angry and they learn their rights because they're home all day doing not a fucking thing but pissed off at the world and they're just learning shit, right? And you start learning the policy, what happens? Once you apply for workers' comp, for this, for that, and the third, now they want to rush into your time card and change everything and make it look like it was an administrative correction. It was not a systemic suspension. It wasn't a constructive suspension. Listen, guys, if your ass is home for 35 days with nothing documented in HR, that's constructive suspension. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. That's what it is. And if you thinking they can't see those damn clock ring manipulations again, your mom must have really dropped you more than once in your head. She must have really dropped you. She must have punched you in the head when you was a kid. Cause like, wow. Glass house, guys. Remember what I'm telling you here, glass house. You can't hide from this shit no more. They know that, but they're still doing it anyway. Because there's no accountability, there's no oversight. So since there's no oversight, they keep getting away with it. At what point do we all say, dude, what are you doing? Are you high? Are you smoking something? I'll have some of what you're having. Or they try to find you guilty without a trial. Violation of Elm 650. We talked about that previously. You see how the violations stack up, and then they just keep doing it. They keep digging themselves in a hole. It's like they're retarded or something. I just shake my head, okay. I'm at that point after the other day when I got super pissed off. I says, okay, no more. I'm done. I'm done getting angry. So again, when they put you off the clock, they caused the leave. They caused the absence from work, not you. So they can't mark you LWOP. They have to pay you administrative pay because it was an administrative issue. It wasn't something that you were forced out because you got caught drinking in the bathroom or something. No, you got pushed out because they accused you of something you didn't do. Administrative pay. That is Elm 519.11. Okay. Here's another one. We just talked about this just like a minute ago. Elm 519.21. Management cannot charge annual or sick leave when administrative leave applies. So they can't send you home because, again, they accuse you of something you didn't do, and then take leave from your bank to charge that leave because they don't want to pay you, or mark you LWOP because they don't want to pay you. Again, there are laws and steps before that. That's like jumping to the end of the movie without going through the movie. It's a violation of both policy and the law. But again, we have no oversight. This is why governors and we're not really governors, but like senators and congressmen and women now, they're jumping in and they're like, oh no, we're gonna investigate this shit now. LLV's blowing up in the street and shit. Come on, man. What happened to all those postal vehicles we were promised that we spent all this money on? I'll tell you what, Congress took it all back, sold the trucks, whatever didn't get used, sold the trucks and kept the money. Yeah, I got a letter from that. They kept the money. So So you're wondering why these trucks are exploding in the street? Why they're going up to 138 degrees, 130 plus degrees in there? Well, there's no fucking AC. Those fans are like 50 years old, and let's face it, it's like a walking death machine. Seriously. But yeah, management loves to do that. They love to send you home and fuck with your pay. And you know what? Now I hope that the little bit of information I gave you so far is helpful. Again, I'm going to put this up on the YouTube channel so you guys can dive right in and kind of like, minutely dissect stuff. And I also put this complete list on my Facebook page, so you can take your time and read it out if you don't want to watch the video. There are options, and there are other sources coming down the pipe that I'm working on with Jessica and a couple other people I know, to make it more interactive so that you guys can get the help you need without waiting. Because sometimes your union sucks and you just got no one to go to. Your associations both suck and there's no one to go to. No one will listen. They ignore you. That's also a violation of federal law. So keep that in mind, guys. Time and attendance. We're going to start talking about ELM 430. ELM 430, very simple. 432.71. Managers cannot falsify or improperly adjust clock rings. I mean, it's a violation of 18 U.S.C. subsection 2071 and subsection 1001. It is a federal crime to adjust someone's time illegally. Management did it to me. Management is doing it to every fucking body in bigger cities. And I'm a manager telling you they're doing it. So what does that mean? So if I'm telling you they're doing it, and we're not talking about small town postmasters. Small town postmasters, they do everything by time card. So they don't have a swipe card. They have a time card that they fill out. It's usually like 18 Bs and under. They have little cards that they fill out, and the manager or the clerk puts the times in for them, and that's how it goes in. But it's usually standardized, so there's not a bunch of on and offs. It's usually, okay, yeah, I got here 7, I left at 4. It's straightforward. Lunch between 12 and 1 and 2, things like that. It's very straightforward, very simple. Time cards for the smaller offices. This is for the bigger offices where they're using time clocks. And management thought it was cute to start manipulating clock rings. And I have proof of that too. It's in Lino's documentary. It's out right now. If you haven't seen it, most of you have by now. It's getting a lot of traction, and I'm very happy about that because it's the truth. It's not a lie. I come with papers. I come with proof. They manipulated my clock rings. So if they're doing it to me and I'm a manager, they're doing it to you guys, and I already know. Because I know. And then they act like they didn't do anything, and that's the worst part. They're fucking with people's livelihoods, and it's okay. Nobody's telling them nothing. There's no government oversight to watch this shit. Nothing. So I'm sitting at home 3 months because 6 months now. Not 3 months, 6 months. Wow, I'm losing track of time. 6 months because the Postal Service won't accommodate me. They denied my reasonable accommodation with no doctor in the room. So guys, if they're doing those things to me and I'm a manager, I already know they're doing them to you. That's a no-brainer. Seriously, guys. So carriers, clerks, maintenance personnel. I know some cool ass maintenance people out up in Flagler. And I met some cool dudes along the way too. Yeah, they're doing this stuff and they think it's okay, man. It's sad, seriously. You think it's all right to steal from people? And again, it's a federal crime. So I hope I get a call from a congressman or woman. I hope I get a call from a senator and ask me to testify. Pay my plane ticket to Washington and I'll testify for you. Yep. No problem. I'll do it. Play my plane ticket and room, because I got to sleep somewhere. I'm not sleeping in the street, okay, to go. And I will go to Washington and testify in Congress. So anyone with something to hide won't say that. Only people that got something to hide will never say I'll testify in front of Congress. I will testify in front of Congress. I said it here live and publicly. Because these guys are dirtbags and they're hurting you guys and it's wrong. That's what I'm talking about, Lino. We go together. I'll make a thing of it. I've never been to DC. I got a lot of friends in DC. I'll be all right. Guys, don't let them violate your rights. Okay. This is a topic that's very, very, very hot right now we're going to go into. But this also pertains to a lot of us here in this forum and a lot of other places throughout the country. Workplace safety violations. Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it, but unfortunately we got to get into that because you guys got to know your rights. ELM 824, safety responsibilities. 824.21, USPS must provide safe working conditions. Tell that to the two guys that passed away. Tell that to their fucking families. I'm under the impression, one of my followers sent me a link that the first person that passed away, I'm not allowed to mention names here, so I won't mention them. But the first brother that passed away, he filed a grievance 90 days prior about the fucking machine that he got killed in. What happened? The other guy fell off a raft and cracked his fucking skull, and they just watched him? That doesn't announce safety. Must provide safe working conditions. None of that shit sounds safe to me. Okay, 824.23. Must investigate and report hazards. Well, 90 days prior, you put a grievance in. Where's the investigation report? I want to see it. The world wants to see it. We want to see what you guys did. Did you fucking do anything? Probably not. Moving on. 824.27. ELM 824.27. I'm sorry, I'm a little upset right now. Must protect employees from heat, violence, and unsafe vehicles. Da, 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 da. The same shit one of the congresswomen right now that I posted up on my Facebook page is investigating. Unsafe vehicles. They're violating ELM 824.27 of their own fucking policy. How do you violate your own policy? I'm good. I'm good. I'm just dumbfounded by this, man. I'm at the point where I'm just laughing at them now. Every time they do dumb shit, I just laugh because it's just like, oh man, here we go again. And again. And another one. Like Scipio tells me, and another one. Yeah, it's crazy. I agree, Lino. I agree, Jessica. You gotta laugh because, and not even in a funny ha 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 chuckle way. It's in a sarcastic way because it's like, when do they learn their lesson? And I know all those managers are looking at me, right? You're fucking white boy. I'm not white. I'm Puerto Rican. Well, Spanish. I'm among other things. So I'm not white. But yeah, you can curse my name to hell. I don't care. Because it's all fucking true. You guys didn't do your job. Where were all the managers when these people died? In the office, flirting with the clerks? A lot of them do that too. Or even better, they have the supervisors, the tour supervisors in their office, and they're flirting with the supervisors in the office. Oh, we're doing work. Yeah, okay. We're doing work. Uh-huh. BV, sorry. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to the handbook, EL 809, heat illness policies. We all took the class, really. If you're sick, find shade, drink some water, get some Gatorade in you. Don't drink coffee, don't drink fucking Red Bulls, don't do none of that stupid shit. Take care of yourself, all right? And then you'll be okay, all right. Supervisor safety obligations. Okay, as a supervisor, you're required to make sure that your staff is safe at all times. You're required to make sure your staff leaves and comes back safely. Your job is to make sure that that vehicle they get in doesn't fucking blow up in the street. That's your job. Not sit in the office flirting with your supervisors. BV. Moving on. OSHA requirements. Again, you're supposed to follow, you lead with integrity. Listen, I know weird shit happens all the time. I've heard stories. But let me tell you something. Don't shit where you eat. And if you're gonna shit where you eat, don't do it in front of nobody. USPS is bound by 29 CFR 1910 safety standards. General duty clause of 29 USC subsection 654. Failures connected to USPS deaths equals clear federal safety violations. So the man cracks his head on the floor. Instead of giving him CPR, checking his pulse, y'all just watched him. Then took one of the clerks and brought her into the office. What? You thought it was a time for a quickie? Oh, nobody's watching. Everybody's too busy looking at the dead guy. Because as a manager, you weren't supposed to leave the scene. This is my opinion. It's not fact. Nothing I'm saying is factual. Verify all my sources. Verify everything I say. This is just me expressing my frustration for the situation. My opinion means absolutely nothing. Because they can't, Dorothy. They can't follow the rules and regulations because they don't know how to. Management doesn't teach people how to be managers. It's sink or swim. That's why. Okay? And as soon as you fuck up because they didn't teach you, then they try to write you up or belittle you in front of your coworkers and constituents or take the shit out your office. Like I heard one story, take the shit out your office and throw it out while you're on leave. Those are all violations. But there's no oversight with the Postal Service. Why? Because we have corporations running the Postal Service, not the federal government. We have businesses running the Postal Service, not the federal government. Let that sink in. So the business model is work, make more money, and all those motherfuckers get PC. If you guys have not seen The Great Postal Heist, you need to go and watch it. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I think I said I was going to post it. Let me see if I can find the link again, and I'll try to do that today before I go to bed. Usually as soon as I'm done with this stuff, I get winded and I'm like annoyed and I just want to go to bed. Yeah, Dorothy, I agree. Yeah, they need to fire those fuckers already. It's like, wow. And the thing is, it's like, and then here's the thing. Before I move on. It's not just management, though, that gets away with stupid shit like this either. Some craft employees, I'm gonna put you out there too, guys. Come on. Not everybody. Most of y'all follow the policy, but when I started in the plant, this motherfucker was passed out drunk on the workroom floor, on the plant floor. They walked him out the building. They took his badge. He was back a week later, still working. Because the union got his job back. But if this was like you or me or anyone else, we would have been canned a long time ago. So sometimes the unions don't really help either. It all depends on your president who's running the union. You understand? Now I get the union has to be they have to be impartial because that's the law. That's part of that's part of the bargaining rights and shit, and I get all that. But the dude was guilty, man. He was drunk on the floor. Like, I walked in and saw him there like, holy shit, dude, you all right? Fuck, yo, dude, my man's on the floor. Get the fuck up. They threw his ass out the building, took his badge. He was there a week later. Union got his job back. Holy shit. Did they even send him to counseling? I mean, who knows? You see what I'm saying? And it's like, you never know. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, yeah, he was stone drunk, like Stone Cold Steve Austin drunk, passed out on the floor, choking on his tongue and shit. And the dude, they just walked him out the fucking building. They even let him get in his car and drive home. You let him drive home like that? Yo, they let him drive home that way. So back to the safe. Must provide safe working conditions. They fucking let him drive home drunk? Is that a safe working condition? The car's on federal property. What if he would hit a fucking RV, an LLV? You let him drive like that home? Wow. Yeah, so that's a funny story for you guys. Okay? We're almost done with the long blurbs here. All right. Privacy violations. My favorite one. Otherwise known as PII. All federal agencies, including other acronym agencies, have them. They're vital to the protection and the success of the organization in particular. Yeah, and then they crack down on attendance and all that other shit. Yeah, okay. But they're not even following their own fucking policy. I agree, Dorothy. But yeah, so policy violations, Privacy Act violations. So, you know, we all, for every federal agency, it doesn't matter, you guys, we all take a form of cybersecurity training, okay? Now, this cybersecurity training is a mandatory annual requirement, and yeah, PII, yeah. Yeah, it's boring, I know, I agree. But we have to talk about it because a lot of us get screwed with this one too. And we don't even know they're violating our rights. That's the thing, like, because they give us these classes like fucking 2 months, 3 months before they even launch anything. And you're sitting there like, did we learn about this? And you're talking, hey, bud, did we learn about this shit? Yeah, we learned about it. When? Oh, you took the class? What class? The class on the computer. That shit didn't teach me nothing. They call that training. Hilarious. I'm telling you. It's like subpar. I'm telling you. But that's their training. Okay. So USPS Privacy Act rules. Handbook AS 353. 5 USC subsection 552A. Privacy Act is federal law. Oh yeah, I know. They be spreading your info all over the fucking place or sending you copies of your time card without fucking security measures or anything. Or they'll go into your tax account. For those that have a time clock, they'll go into your tax account and they'll take a screenshot of your fucking leave trying to prove something wrong, like trying to prove that they did their job, and then they send it to you and you're saying to yourself, did you fucking secure the fucking file? It has my EIN and information on there. It even says that I'm seeing the doctor because I got hemorrhoids, and they still fucking send it to you. Unsecure and shit. Fuck, now the whole agency knows I got hemorrhoids. What the fuck? That's what's going on. And they think they're trying to prove that they're doing their job or trying to like get one up on you, because that's what most managers do. Not all managers. I can't stress this enough. Not all managers, but a lot of them, they just put your shit out there and it's crazy. Yeah. So guys, 5 AS 353, 5 USC subsection 552A is the Privacy Act, is federal law. So the moment they send you a screenshot of your fucking tax card, it's a violation of federal law if it wasn't secured by hashtag sensitive hashtag. That's for Postal Service workers. I don't know about other agencies. Look into your handbooks. You guys know what to do. Okay? PII breaches of federal violations. No shit, Gus. You know, the laws were made for a reason. My dad used to say laws were made so they can be followed. Not so you can feel like you woke up this morning on the wrong side of the bed, your wife left you, she took all your fucking money, and now you want to pick on your workers on the workroom floor. They're made to be followed. You understand? So, yeah. Now we're going to go into a very, very good one. Whistleblower protections. Because a lot of people don't know what their whistleblower rights are, so we're going to talk about that now. 5 U.S.C. subsection 2302, B, section B and 8. So B as in boy, 8 as in the number 8. Prohibits retaliation for reporting fraud, reporting safety violations, reporting abuse of authority, Whistleblower Protections Act of 2012. And it also covers, that part covers USPS employees, EAS managers or employees, managers and supervisors. So we all are covered under the Whistleblower Protection Acts of 2020, Whistleblower Protection Enhancement Act, Whistleblower Protection Enhancement Act of 2012. Okay, guys, this is another thing that management does. And again, happened to me. And I know it's happening to a lot of you because, you know, a lot of you have been reaching out and telling me your stories. And sometimes I don't know what to say because it's like, oh shit, what do I tell this person? I feel so bad for them. The only solution I got is what I'm putting out right now. I can't really do much of anything because that's the point where we're at right now, you know? But yeah, reporting fraud, reporting safety violations, reporting abuse of authority. Well, shit, that happens every day at the post office, right? Practically. Those wiretainers are like, how old? The only thing new is the damn Sudus machine, and that's not even new. Plant sorters are still using what, ASW and DDS machines? Those things are outdated, man. We still got shit in the back that nobody uses anymore. Or it's not safe. Case in point, what the tragedy. Yeah, you can't. And they make the system though so you guys could walk away. You understand? They make the system so you get pissed off and you say, fuck it, I don't care no more, I'm done. That's what they want. And then they laugh at you when they take your bonus money and go to Arby's. Or they have that T-bone steak with your raised money and laugh at you over dinner. Or they have little mandatory meetings where they talk about themselves all fucking day. Miami. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now with that. So guys, it covers all of us. It covers all, and this is all federal employees. It says USPS employees because again, I was just jotting stuff down that pertain to us, but this is for everybody. Whistleblower Protection Enhancement Act of 2012 protects all federal employees. It protects all people. It doesn't matter if you're in the civil or in the public sector, okay? You're in the private public sector, okay? Managers, supervisors, etc., okay? Yeah, I know. I agree, Jess. So, we talked about the deaths. And we talked about what could have happened, what should have happened. And I gave my personal opinion as to what should have fucking happened. This one's a hard one to talk about. Because I almost died twice for this job. And I never told nobody. It's not worth losing your life for. Don't let it be you. USPS failures and employee deaths. The official citations. So, here are the concrete policies the Postal Service broke. Clear violations of policy and possibly federal law. I'm going to read them out to you. Elm 824.612, extreme heat protocols. Okay. Supervisors must monitor carriers and adjust duties. Failure equals violation of federal safety regulations. We talked about that before. I'm not going to go into that again. Elm 821, safety investigations. Death on duty requires immediate investigation. Mandatory reporting to district and HQ. USPS failed this repeatedly. They fail it repeatedly. Remember, all of their reports that go to the OIG, they have to be public. So if you wait, they become public and you can download them and read them. It's public information. They have to publicize. It's the law. You put in your FOIA requests or even with the OIG, they put it out and you just download it and you read it. But they have to put it out by law. Okay. Elm 821 safety regulations. Okay, we read that. Elm 912. So now we're moving into a very hot one. Elm 912, workers' compensation. Employees experiencing medical duress or distress must be supported. Must. This isn't a request to the fucking prom. This isn't a date to the movies. We're not going to Arby's. You need to support the person that's sick. If they file workers' compensation, you're supposed to support them. Not retaliate against them because they file paperwork on you. It's their right. But again, we got managers, Miami, doing that now. This is all cited. Everything I say is cited. It's fact. It's not conjecture. It's not hearsay. Pretty much fact. But again, I'm not a professional. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal aid. I'm not a union representative. I'm just a manager on leave because I was retaliated against for reporting a lot of this shit that we went over tonight. And you know what? I'll be a manager until I retire. And at this point, why would anybody want to move up in the ladder after seeing what they do? You're not going to get no one to step up. They know what you're doing. You treat your workers like shit. They're not going to go up and do nothing no more. So yeah, just laugh it off with me, guys. So, they are to be supported. That was Elm 912. Okay? EL 801. So that's the employee the Postal Service manual. Supervisor Safety Handbook. Supervisors are required to remove unsafe vehicles, modify workload, report to distress. USPS fails over and over and over and over again. Management just fails over and over. And we're not talking about the small postmasters. You guys pretty much got your stations on lockdown because it's kind of like a rinse, recycle, repeat thing. Yeah, you'll have variances throughout the day, but it's kind of that way. Okay, again, time cards versus time clock. I'm talking about time clock offices, bigger cities, level 22 and 24 installations with 40, 20, 30, 40, 60 carriers in there. Okay, 20 clerks, 10 clerks, you know, like that, big stations. And supervisors are failing them over and over and over again. Why? You stepped up because you wanted to make a difference, or did you just step up because you wanted money?
Yeah, that's the question.
There's the problem. I've said this since the beginning. When I stepped up to become an OIC, it was because I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to grow in my career. I wanted to learn. I wanted to be good at my job. And regardless of what anybody says about me, management or craft, I know I was good at my job. But people that step up now, they just want money. Guys, Don't do it for that if that's what you're looking for. You want money, do overtime. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I agree, Scipio. Oh, the cheeseburger. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I was looking at the camera. That's funny. Chimichanga. They give you a chimichanga, you be there? Fucking guy. We are all kidding aside, guys. That right there is it's what it is, you know? So we went over the entire believe it or not, we did that hour and a half. That's actually good. We went over the entire Elm and stuff that I talked about on Thursday in that hour and a half. So that's a lot for one day. But here's the thing. You guys need to know your rights. And I hope that these live sessions teach you, because that's what I joined the Postal Service for and became a manager. I became a postmaster, supervisor, because I wanted to teach. I wanted to help people. I wanted to help the customers. I wanted to help the community. Yeah, I have my days. No, everyone does. Come on. Fucking guy's back again. It's normal. That's normal. Come on. We're not robots. We got regular life stuff that we're dealing with, plus work. And then we come home, and sometimes our spouses and partners are not the easiest to deal with either. So then we got to deal with that, then come back to work, then deal with more drama. I get it. Yo, you're welcome, Dorothy. No problem. I'm glad. You know? Yeah, Jesse, definitely hilarious. I agree. You know, but seriously, like, and then I know for me personally in my house, I know I'm not the easiest person to live with sometimes because of all this stuff that I'm going through. You know, I kind of, you go off tangent sometimes, and those things happen, you know, guys. But try to remember that the people that are there with you are the ones that they're supporting you, and they love you very, very, very much. And yeah, just remember that. Remember that. Remember what you do. Remember the things I'm teaching you. One of the things I was working on, Lino's also working on, which I find that cool, because we thinking the same. That's awesome. He's working on an app now. That's awesome. I thought about the same thing. I was actually going to talk to you about that too. You read my mind, dude. Yo, we right here. You know, I got some other stuff that I'm working on down the pipe with Scipio. He's my best friend, like I tell you all the time. And then Jesse's helping me on the back end with a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I want to keep doing this for as long as I can. I want to give you guys more tools to support yourself, so you don't have to rely on union representation. Now, this doesn't replace union representation. And I must be very, very, very clear. I am pro-union. And I am pro-association. Always have been, always will be. But only the ones that are going to do the job correctly and protect their people the right way. Not take your money and then when you need help, they ignore your phone calls and your emails. That's not union representation. That's just give me your money and shut the fuck up. No more of that. So it's just like the government now. Yeah. Keep going, keep supporting one another. That's why I want to come out with these other tools to help you guys. That way you guys feel like you have a little control. I got a message a couple of days ago from Lino, believe it or not. I came through him and he sent it to me. That a viewer used some of the stuff we were teaching on these sessions and they filed their own grievance. I hope they won. I really do. I hope that gal that filed her own grievance, Lino, if you can, let me know if she won or not. I would love to know. And if she needs anything, yeah, the postaltruth1@gmail.com. Okay, good for her. I agree, Jesse. Yeah, it's about time we take our rights back. And yeah, I hope these forums are really helping, because that's about all I can do right now, to be honest with you, until the money runs out and I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm going to do it until the money runs out and I can't afford it anymore. You know, at that point, then y'all guys will have to figure it out. But, you know, it is what it is. But my hope is it continues to grow. and the channels all grow in unison. TikTok is doing really well with these videos. I put them up. I do a lot of shorts there, and I put them out in 800, 900, 1,000 views. No, the Postal Truth in the number 1. Jessica, will write it down. Jesse, if you hear me, write it down for me. The Postal Truth 1. Because I'm on my phone, so I can't do it.
Writing it.
Mm-hmm. Watching this football thing, this little old school throwback music thing that my wife and I like to hear every now and then. Kind of relaxes me. I'm an 80s kid, so. But yeah. Oh yes, there it is. The Postal Truth 1. Yep, at gmail.com. That's the best way to reach me. And the reason why is because social media sometimes blocks messages or sends your shit to spam, and I feel real bad trying to, like with that other person that wrote to me, please, I want you to hear my story. I would love to hear your story, but I lost the message. I can't get it. So if you're watching this, shoot me an email, man, and I got you. I'll listen to you. You know? Yeah. Guys, again, no live session on Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. I love you all. You're my brothers and my sisters. And even if you're not working in the post office and you're working in another acronym agency, you're still my brother and my sister. And I got nothing but love for y'all. Don't be dirtbags if you're in management. Treat your people right. Those managers that are doing the right thing, postmasters that are doing the right thing, keep it up, man, because we're the living example. We're that example to stop them from doing wrong shit. So if we drink the Kool-Aid like the rest of them, it's not going to get any better. I'm halfway through Tina's story. Yeah, I may start talking about that on Sunday. We'll see. I got to get with Tina about that one. She said I could, but I want to just follow up with her, make sure it's okay. Her story's hard, man. I listened to it. I listened to 3 hours. I got 2 more hours left, and I'm like, I played, and I'm like, fuck, seriously? Anyway, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Much love to you all. Be safe. If you work in the mail from now until Wednesday, guys, don't party too much because you know we got to be back Friday. You got to be back in the office on Friday morning, okay? Don't party too hard on Thursday, okay? Wednesday's another story. You get off of work, you do what you got to do, but don't party too hard on Thursday, all right? Much love for y'all, and I'll see y'all next Sunday, all right? Take care.